Hey y'all, it's me Marty. Welcome to another video, and welcome to my 500th video on my channel. So, in this video, I thought I would just share everything I know about truck driving, and just so you can kind of have a glimpse of what it is to be a truck driver and be on the road. So I'm gonna just share a little bit of why you would want to be a truck driver, how you become a truck driver, what's it like being a truck driver, and some of the ups and downs, the good and bad of being on the road driving a truck. So I'm gonna do this while I'm driving, so I'm gonna switch the camera now and then on me and on the road. I know you'd probably much rather watch the road. And I'm going to be keeping my eye on the road all the time, always, of course. I'm a very safe driver. But I'll show you a little bit of the road and a little bit of me, and we'll just chat for a while here. So, I am in Kansas, and I'm kind of on the back roads. I'm basically taking the back roads from Kearney, Nebraska, down to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Or Tucumcari, New Mexico, probably. And yeah, so it's kind of small U.S. highways, and yeah, and there is some snow. For the most part, it's dry, but there is some icy and snowy spots, so I'm kind of taking it easy today. The sun is peeking through, so that's good. Okay, I put it on me for a little bit here. So I have my phone mounted on the dash. That's how this works. I don't hold my phone when I'm driving. I don't text and drive. I'm a very safe driver. But I will take pictures and make videos sometimes. Not too often, but once in a while. And I just have my phone mounted on the dash, and that's how I do that. So I'm pretty simple. I'm pretty basic. I make all my videos with my phone. I edit everything with a free app on my phone. I upload to my YouTube channel from my phone. It's all just from my phone. And nothing fancy. Again, my channel is just me sharing my life. I hope that I can help you smile, maybe you learn something, maybe you're just entertained. So I hope you enjoy my videos. Again, it's just a hobby. I'm working. I work 70 hours a week or more, really. And I make videos and do all the stuff. I'm making videos for free. It's just a hobby, so I hope you enjoy. So it is Wednesday morning, February 19th, 2025. Yeah, so, boy, it's been a crazy winter all over the country, really. And we live in Minnesota, and we haven't got hardly any snow, which is fine with me. I like it dry, but it has been cold, and it's been really cold. Lately, it's been like 20, 30 below. And it is slowly starting to warm up. By the time I get home next week, it'll be in the 30s above zero. So, but it's been really weird around the country. Some states aren't getting any, cold or snow, and some states that never do are getting it. So it's kind of weird. So yeah, a snowstorm went across Nebraska and Kansas yesterday and last night. Yeah, I quit for the day in Kearney on I-80. And started this morning. Basically be on the back roads most of the day, going down to Tucumcari in New Mexico, and then I'll get on I-40 west. So I'm loaded with turkey from St. Cloud, Minnesota, going to Shafter, California for Friday morning. And yeah, it's on the west side of Bakersfield. So yeah, I kind of take the south route in the wintertime, stay out of the mountains in the winter. And yeah, so I am on, what am I on now? I don't know. 283, 36. There's little small U.S. highways that zigzag down through Nebraska and Kansas between I-80 and I-40. So anyway, so why would you want to be a truck driver? So I'll just kind of share my thoughts. Again, this is just my 2 cents. Take it with a grain of salt. A grain of sand, grain of rice, whatever kind of grain you like. Anyway, it's just my thoughts. So truck driving is a good job. It's a good career. It really is. And it's very much needed. It's not for everyone. So when I was younger, I watched truck listen to truck driving music and used to sit on the highway and watch trucks go by. And I was interested in trucks, and I like trucks. It wouldn't be my first choice of a career. So here's the thing with me. I would rather drive truck than most other jobs. You know, I have extremely flat feet, so I can't stand all day long. I've done every kind of job there is, y'all. So I have been working for 43 years. I've been trucking for 23 years. So that means for the first 20 years, I was doing all other kinds of jobs. Everything, warehouse work and assembly and production, retail and restaurant work and driving forklift and driving transit bus and school bus and, working in woodworking shops and all kinds of different assembly and production work and everything you can imagine. I've done everything. And a lot of those jobs were just really hard on my body, standing all day with flat feet. And I got bored with them too. So a lot of those jobs were just really hard for me. So I'd rather drive truck than anything else, or most things. If I could be a teacher or have a small woodworking business or work helping people in rescue or something, or work from home, one of those things, I'd rather do that. But God hasn't opened doors for doing any of that kind of stuff, so I'm just happy to be a truck driver. I'd rather do this than work in a warehouse or anything like that. So, so I did lots of different jobs in my life, and then just doors opened, and it sounded like a good thing to do. In 2002, that's when I became a truck driver. Yeah, it's a very much needed job. So I think there's around, my numbers are probably way off, but I think there's a couple of million, like 2 million trucks on the road at any given time in the U.S. alone. And they need new drivers every year. They need good drivers. There's a lot of bad drivers out there. There's a lot, need good drivers to ship stuff and to get food to people and, produce and all the different things that we have. It all needs to be moved. I mean, if anything you have was moved by a truck, it might have been on a ship too, or a train or a plane, but at some point, whatever you have, everything you have, was moved by a truck driver, and it's very much needed job, and it's a good career. Now, it's not for everybody. From the start, I enjoyed it. Yes, it's hard being away from home, but we got to work. Everybody has to work. And some jobs, you just have to be away from home more. And there's ups and downs in every job. I mean, there's jobs where you're home every day, but there's other things that are hard about that job. And there's, and being on the road all the time, there's good things about being home when I'm home. All the different, there's good and bad and everything. But from the start, I liked it because I like working on my own. The satisfaction of taking a load from one place to another and doing it. I make all the decisions myself. I work for a company. I'm not a owner-operator. I wouldn't suggest that. I would never want to do that. Yes, you can make more money being an owner-operator, having your own truck, but you got to pay for everything too. You got to pay for all the fuel and the truck breakdowns and all that stuff. So to me, it's not worth it. I've always worked for a company. I get paid, but my boss pays for all the fuel and the truck breakdowns and maintenance and lumpers, all that stuff. So, But I like the fact that I make the decisions myself. Yes, I have a boss, but he gives me a load, and I decide how long I have to work every day, how fast I'm going to drive, go by the speed limit. But I mean, and when I start every day, and how long I drive every day to make sure I get there on time, and I make all of those decisions, and where to stop and where to park and all that. And I like the freedom of it. I like working by myself. Seeing the country, being able to drink coffee while I'm working all day, and I just like the flexibility of it. And I've worked for different companies through the years. Getting a little icy here now again. I've worked for different companies through the years. The company I work for right now, I'm going on 6 years, that's a record for me. I've had a lot of different jobs in my life. Done really well at them, but I've always moved around. But I've been here almost 6 years. I've been 6 years in October. 5.5 years right now. So, but they're a really good company, very flexible, great boss, great people, very flexible. So for the most part, I am out 7 to 10 days, and then I'm home for like a week. And I mean, that's pretty good. What other job can you have a week off, like once a month or even more? It's very flexible. I can stay home as long as I want. I can be out as long as I want. You know, it's very flexible. I can take my family with. It's very flexible. I'm not getting rich doing it, but it's better than a lot of jobs. Some icy spots here and there, but not too bad. I'm just taking it slow. So yeah, and right now, you know, we're trying to, my wife just retired, so I need to work more, and which is fine. I'm so glad she's able to retire. I'm a few years behind her, so I'll be working another 5 to 10 years. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm working more. So now I'm usually out like 10 days, and I'm home on 2 or 3 days. But it varies. But it's really flexible, and so from the start, it just came natural to me. So truck driving came pretty natural, but it's not for everybody. There's a lot of ups and downs, and you know, being away from home, being away from your family is really hard. But there's a lot of jobs you have to do that. I mean, the military, and we honor people and salute them who are in the military and they're away from their family for months and years. You know, so I think we should do that for truck drivers too, and for other people who just have to work and have to be away. And I think the big thing is you can have a job where you are away a lot and working, but if you make the most of your time when you're home and love your family and spend time with your family and not just off by yourself when you're home, it could be a good career. And you know, I know people that are home every day, but they don't spend time with their family, and they're not, you know, not a good husband and not all that. So I'm far from perfect, but I try to do my best in my job, and then when I'm home too, and enjoy my time when I'm home. It works for us. It's always worked for me and my family, and I've taken my wife and kids with through the years. And again, I work hard when I'm out here, and when I'm home, I cherish time with my family. So that's kind of the why I got into it and why I enjoy it. Again, it wouldn't be my first choice, but it's better than a lot of other jobs. And why it would be good for many of you, I think. It's something to think about, that maybe a trucking career would be good for you. You know, if you don't like working with other people, if you don't like being in a building all day, if you like being out and about, working on your own, seeing the country, having lumps of time when you're home, knowing that you are delivering food and other things to people, providing for people around the country, then it might be a good job for you. Come back on me for a few minutes here. Hopefully the sound in the video is good. Okay, 13 miles, I gotta go left. You guys gotta watch that. So, how do you get into truck driving? So, you know, I've heard people say, especially years ago, you know, if they drove truck on their farm with their dad, you know, they can kind of get grandfathered into trucking, and they just became a truck driver or whatever. You know, that's not the best way, the normal way, what most people do. You know, most people have to go to truck driving school. I mean, you need to know how to drive a truck. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's a big responsibility. There's a lot to learn, and you have to be trained well. So, and the other thing is, if you don't go to a truck driving school, most places won't hire you. So yeah, you need to go through a truck driving school. Now, there's all different ones out there. It's probably changed now. Again, I've been truck driving for 23 years now. But 23 years ago when I started, it was getting icy again here. At least the sun is peeking through. That's nice today, and it should start to dry up and warm up as I roll south. It's 0 degrees right now, and that's about 10-20 degrees warmer than it's been. Anywho, I don't like summer. I don't like the heat, but I don't like below 0 either, though. I like it cool and dry and sunny. Anywho, good night. Oh, it's all ice here now. So years ago, anyway, you would pay to go to truck driving school, and for the most part, most places. Okay, I'm going south on US 36 here now. Most trucking training schools, trucking schools, CDL schools are, yeah, I mean, a few $1,000s to go through the school, and it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months. It's kind of spaced out. That seems like a long time to me, but a lot of them are like that. I wanted to get it done quicker, so I paid around $5,000 to go to the trucking school because I got it done in 3 weeks. So it was really intense, really good instructors, and I got done in a shorter amount of time. Yes, it cost more. It was $5,000 instead of like $2,000-3,000. But I got done quicker, and so I could start working and making money quicker. So I went through truck driving school. It was about 3 weeks, and I learned everything. Driving truck, and back then I learned on a manual. It was a 12-speed. And I learned really well, actually, and it came natural. And I could shift without even using the clutch, which you shouldn't do, but I could just hear the engine, and I could shift, and oh yeah, I got good at it. And driving the truck and parking, packing, all the different things about trucking, all the rules and regulations, all the hands-on, all the bookwork, all the different things. And so I went through trucking school. Gavi. And then I got my CDL. Well, and I actually had to take, I don't remember now, I had to take it 2 or 3 times before I passed the test, because you have to take a written test, road test, and yeah, it takes time. So I finally got my CDL. Oh, it felt good when I finally got it. Class A CDL license, commercial driver's license. I started with a big company. I'm not going to say the company, but they have a lot of trucks. Well, back then they had about 7,000. I think they might even have more now. Oh, good night. It's off and on ice here, but ice and snow. It's taking it slow. Anywho, but they were a big company, and I started with the company, and what I did was I had to take a bus from where we lived in west central Minnesota down to Omaha, Nebraska. Well, that maybe gives away the company, but and I got a trainer, and so I went out. I went out for like a week, and basically he drove for a little bit, and then he let me drive, and he just sat in the passenger seat and watched me, and told me what to do when I was doing things wrong. And we took a load from Nebraska out to California, and then went back to Colorado, and then back to Omaha. It went well. It's really awkward being trained, because especially in a truck, well, you got to sleep in the same truck. He slept on the bottom bunk, I slept on the top bunk. That's kind of awkward with a stranger. But you just do it, deal with it. Also, we did some where he would drive while I slept, and I drove while he slept. Not very often, but we did that a little bit. I never slept good. But anyway, so yeah, and it went okay. But the trainer had he was dealing with a lot of stuff with his wife, and they were on the phone talking. He was on the phone most of the time, arguing, talking, and different things. We all struggled like that, but he wasn't training me much. I was just kind of learning on my own, so it was a little awkward. It wasn't the best situation. And we got back to Omaha, and the trainer just took off. He just left. He just left. And so I took that as a sign from God that this isn't the company for me. So I got a bus ticket and went back home. And then I started with a smaller company, which only had about 12 trucks. And the owner was a super guy. He actually trained me himself. And I realized that I like smaller companies. So yeah, I worked for a small company, and I've worked for probably 5 or 6 different companies in the last 23 years. All small companies, and I just like that better. They just treat you like family, and way more flexible, and lots of different things that are just better. And again, the company I've been with right now, we mostly haul food, frozen food, from Minnesota to other states. And then, you never know what you're hauling back, but it's always food going out. Many times it's food coming back too. And I've been with them for, going on 6 years. Great company. So yeah, that's kind of been, it's been lots of different things. I basically have pulled, I started out pulling dry van, and then reefer. I pull reefer now, which is a refrigerated truck. Refrigerated or frozen food. But yeah, so I pulled dry van, which is a regular trailer. I pulled reefer, which is what I have now, hauling food. I pulled tanker before, and when I pulled tanker, I hauled water, molasses, oil, some different things. That was interesting, different, but I kind of like that too. And sweet energy, I did that. That's one of my favorite. It was a local trucking job delivering sweet energy, which was liquid feed for cows, and I delivered to farms. I kind of like that. And I also hauled hopper trailers. I was delivering feed and grains and corn and soybeans and stuff like that. Did that for a while. And actually, I also pulled flatbed when I drove for that big company. For that 1 week, I actually pulled flatbed that one time. But that's the only time I ever pulled flatbed. So I pulled all different kinds of trailers through the years, mostly reefer, and that's what I pull right now. I'm basically going east. I should be going west, but I'm still south. Anywho, but yeah, you can drive over the road, or you can drive regional, which I kind of like. I did that for a couple companies where you're within a 5-state area where you live, and that's okay too. You're out 2 or 3 or 4 days, or even maybe you might not even do any overnights. You may be home the same day, but it gets to be long days too. And then there's local also, where you're home every day, but that gets to be really long days too. And local or regional hasn't really worked for me too well, because it's such long days. You're not really limited as far as how long you can drive every day. I mean, that's the thing too. So basically, I can drive 11 hours a day, and then I have to take a 10-hour break. And I can only be on the clock with all that. The 11 hours has to be within 14 hours a day. But when you drive local, you don't really have to do that, so they can make you be on the clock for all day long, 4 or 5 in the morning till 7, 8, 9 at night, and I've done that, and I don't like it. At least over the road, I get a 10-hour break every night, and sometimes 12 or 14 hours, so I just think it works better. Over the road, it works better for me to just be out for a while and then be home for a while. Yeah, it's kind of icy and snow-packed here in the town, but hopefully 183 will be better. I had a little detour, but it's all good. But yeah, so a typical day. Well, I don't know if there is a real typical day. Just like a lot of jobs, every day is different. But a basic typical day, for me anyway. So I'll wake up in the morning, and get dressed. I go to the bathroom, or usually go to the bathroom, then get dressed. Then I'll either go in the truck stop, if I'm at a truck stop, and get a coffee, or I'll make coffee in my truck. I have a little coffee maker in my truck. Actually, y'all know I love my coffee, and I have many different ways to make coffee. But yeah, most of the time I'll just make it in my truck. Sometimes I'll get one in the truck stop, depends. And then I'll have coffee and devotions, read God's Word, my Bible, and then I'll get on with the day. And so after coffee and devotions, then I'll log in. So logs used to be paper logs, but years ago, which I never liked. But now they're e-logs. It's all electronic, and it's on a tablet that's mounted on your dash. And so what I'll do is I'll log in, and then I'll do my pre-trip inspection. So I'll go out and look at everything around the truck. I mean, everything. I mean, you need to do a pre-trip every day and a post-trip. And actually, honestly, for me, I'm just always tripping. I'm always tripping. That sounds good. But I'm always just looking for things, making sure everything is good, and just, always be looking at your truck, outside, inside, and just all the different things to make sure everything is the way it should be, and that everything's running right. And so I'll go out and I'll look at everything. I'll do a walk around. I'll check the engine. I'll make sure there's no leaks, and check the tires and the lights, and make sure everything is well. Nothing is broken. Nothing needs maintenance. And so yeah, I do my pre-trip in the morning. And after I have that done, and I'll spend 10 15 minutes. Again, I'm always looking for things throughout the day. Every time I stop to take a break or go to the bathroom or get fuel or whatever, I'll just do a walk around. I'm always looking. So, and also check all the things inside the truck and the gauges and all that. Just want to make sure everything is always good and working well. So yeah, I'll get my pre-trip done and get back in the truck, and then I'll get ready to drive. And so I usually again, I'll use my GPS and map book and my own knowledge, decide what route I'm taking for the day. So I plan my route, where I'm going to go, how far, I want to get, well, especially this trip, I need to get 10, close to 11 hours a day. So, 500-600 miles a day. So I plan my route, decide approximately where I'm going to try to get to and the route I'm taking, and then I'll drive. But yeah, I'll just drive all day. I usually fuel up once a day. I don't wait till it gets too low. I usually, when everything's about half or whatever, I'll fuel up. And I usually fuel up at the Pilot and Flying J's. Now, as far as truck stops, quick little ramble on truck stops here. When I first started trucking in 2002, the main big truck stops were the Petros and the TAs. And then throughout the years, Flying J came around, and Pilot, and more recently it's the Loves. So those are the big ones. There's some other ones, but that's the main big ones. And then there's all little mom and pop truck stops. I like those actually, but I usually fuel up at the Pilot Flying J's because I have a frequent frequent fueler card, and I earn points, and but so I usually get fuel at those places. And it's usually one of the lower, prices are usually pretty good, and that's usually where I fuel up. And I'll usually fuel all three things, and that's my truck, the DEF, and my reefer. So the truck obviously has 2 tanks, and I'll fuel that. And then the DEF is underneath my side, and it's the diesel exhaust fluid. I don't really understand how all that works or why, but it's something you have to keep that topped off. And then I'll pull the truck head a little bit, and then I'll fuel my reefer trailer, or my reefer fuel tank on the trailer. And yeah, usually do that once a day. And then I have to take a 30-minute break within my 11 hours every day. I usually try to do that while I'm fueling, but if I have extra time, I'll do it just at a rest area and go for a walk or a hike or something. I usually stop at least every half hour, usually once an hour, to go to the bathroom. Gosh, getting icy spots again. It's clear and then it's icy. That's why I'd rather just go slower when it's icy and snowy, because you just never know. I'm not going to go 60, 65 miles an hour and then hit ice and then wish I was going slower. I'd rather be going slower and wish I could go faster than be going faster and wishing I could go slower, and it's too late. So yeah, this is 2-lane highways. I don't like to go more than 60 anyway, even though it's 65. Yeah, I'm only going 50, 55 most of the day today. Coming to the big town of Glade, Kansas. Every time I stop, because it's part of my new healthy lifestyle, you can watch that video if you're wondering about that. I just started eating better and exercising and stuff, and part of that is just being active every day. And so every time I stop, I run a few laps around my truck, and so I do that. And yeah, just drive all day. For the most part, I like to start around 6, 7 a.m. and I like to be done by 6 p.m. And that's easier, and I like to drive during the daylight for the most part. In the winter months, it's a little harder to do that, but yeah, I try to do that for the most part. And yeah, so then I just drive all day, and then when it gets close to 4 or 5, 6 o'clock, I decide where I want to stop for the day. Sometimes I'll park at a truck stop. Maybe I want to get a shower, or maybe I want to get coffee in the morning, or maybe I want to get something to eat. For the most part, I eat in my truck, bring my own food. but sometimes I might want to do that. Or maybe I want to stay at a rest area. I like rest areas because they're quieter and cleaner, and maybe it's nice weather so I can go out and do something outside or go for a hike. I like to do that when I have downtime. Doesn't happen very often, but when I can, I try to do that. And then I'll get to a truck stop or a rest area, and I will park, and then I'll do a post-trip inspection. I'll go around and do all the same thing, check everything, make sure everything is good, and then I'll log off for the day. And then, you know, all truckers are different. Some will go do stupid things or get in trouble or hang out in the truck stop or whatever. I like to make the most use of my time. Some days I'm really tired of driving, so I'll just get in my bunk and I'll watch a movie or I'll read. You know, if I have extra downtime or if it's still daylight, I might play my mandolin or carve a spoon, or if I have a lot of extra time, I'll take my scroll saw outside and do some scroll sawing. But you know, or I'll just read, and you know, if I can, I'll put my backpack on and go for a walk or a hike. I really love that. But yeah, so then I'll just hang out in the truck. I will have dinner and you know, do my evening exercises. Well, I didn't mention that. I do a morning exercise routine, and then I do an evening exercise routine too. Nothing big. Sit-ups, jumping jacks, lift some weights, and just, you know, yeah, get a little exercise every morning and every evening, and then throughout the day as much as I can. I've learned from a lot of older people that the key to staying young and being healthy, it's not drugs and surgeries and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, there's a place for that, but it's staying active and being healthy, eating healthy and staying active, and you know, you just feel better and you have more energy, and yeah, that's the way to live longer and be healthy and live fully alive, is to stay active. It really is good. Now, what's some of the ups and downs of truck driving? Because there's a lot of ups and downs, the pros and cons. Okay, I'll talk about the cons, the hard things. So, being away from your family, that's hard. Being away from home, that's really hard. Missing out on things, not being there for things that need to be done, responsibilities and chores and all that stuff. I love doing that stuff. I like being home for that, and sometimes I miss out on that. Our water heater right now is on the blink. I can't be home to check it out and try to fix it. I don't know that much about water heaters anyway, but so we have a friend in church, and he's coming over to check it out today. I have another friend who's going to come over too if he can't figure it out. I'm hoping, praying it's a simple fix. We can't afford more repairs, but you know, not being home for the stuff like that. But when you have other friends and family that can come and be there, that's good. I just like to be the one. I like to be there for my wife and kids and my family. I like to be the one to be home and take care of things like that. But you can't be all the time because you got to work and you got to be on the road. It's part of trucking. So missing family, missing, you know, just spending time with them, and missing out on activities and different things, but also not being home for responsibilities like that. So that's hard. Dealing with other drivers, yeah, other truck drivers and other car drivers that, you know, are dealing with that. That's hard. I'm far from perfect, you know, but I try to do my best, and there's good and bad drivers, you know, but none of us are perfect. But dealing with that is hard. The biggest pet peeve I have, are cars that come on and they don't know how to merge. That's the hardest thing for me. I get frustrated so easy. So if you're going to merge, you got to do the zipper thing. Take turns, you know. You go ahead or go behind you. You got to do one. If you're a car coming onto the highway and there's a car or a truck, whatever, you either need to speed up and get ahead of me, or you need to slow down and get behind me. You can't just ride the shoulder and then what? You're going to run out of road, or I have to slam on my brakes. Most likely, I slow down so that person can get in, and then they speed up, take off, and then I got to get going again because I'm down to 10 miles an hour. That's not safe on the highway to do. So yeah, you either got to get in front of me or get behind me. You can't just keep riding the shoulder. What are you going to do? Right? You got to get in front or behind. I don't understand that. And I get it. People in cars are afraid of trucks. Well, you got to get ahead or behind. You got to do one of the two. Now, here's the thing. Some people would say, "Oh, just run them off the road." You have the right. You were in the right of way. They should have got ahead of you or got behind you. But if you can save a life, you should do it. And that's also a preventable accident. If I can slow down and let them in, or speed up and get ahead of them, and it saves an accident for both people, that's a preventable accident. You need to do that. If you can save a life, you need to do that. Not just let them run off the road or get crushed because you have the right of way. No, we need to think of other people, and they should be thinking too. But truck drivers save lives every day. So, yeah, that's a hard thing. But so yeah, dealing with other drivers, and that's hard. Dealing with traffic, all the traffic in the cities, road construction, and accidents, and all the backups. You see it every day. I see it every trip. Horrible accidents. I see it every trip. And then the road construction and backed up. Thousands of trucks and cars backed up because of an accident or road construction. And then it delays everybody, and everybody's impatient, and that's hard. Weather, that's one of the worst for me. I have driven in every state. I've driven in the mountains and all kinds of weather, ice and snow and rain and storms. That's hard, and that's always been hard for me. And as I've gotten older, it's gotten harder for me to drive in the ice and snow. I really don't like it, especially in the mountains. My boss is really nice in that there's a few drivers that don't mind doing that. So in the winter months, he lets me for the most part, do the southern routes from like October to May, which is nice. But I still got to drive in ice and snow like I am now, and some mountains. But it's better than going northwest and northeast in the wintertime. But yeah, dealing with the weather is hard. The potential of an accident. I've seen horrible accidents. There was just a horrible one in the tunnel in Green River, Wyoming. Happened Friday, I believe. A few people died. Just horrible, and backed up traffic, all this stuff. I see trucks on fire, trucks upside down on their sides. I see cars on fire. I see accidents, multi-accident, all the time. And I've never been a part of one, but I see them all the time, and that's hard. The potential of that happening. Now the road is better here, but we got a snowplow clearing the shoulder on the right here. And whenever there's a plow, tow truck, police, fire, ambulance, cars on the side of the road, you need to pull over. You need to go in the other lane and slow down so you're not close to that whatever's happening on the side of the road. You got to really think of other people. I think there's good and bad truck drivers, good and bad car drivers, and both. You just need to be respectful of other people and do your best to prevent accidents and save lives. So yeah, the weather's a big one. Yeah, just lots of hard things out here. Also, another thing that's hard is delays. And I've learned to just realize that they're for a reason sometimes, and just to roll with it. And that delays are hard for everybody to deal with, though. And you have delays, and maybe you have to wait to get loaded. Maybe you have to wait to get unloaded. Maybe you have to wait to get a load. Maybe you have to, you have a truck breakdown. My truck is broke down, this one and other ones, many times through the years. And my company's always been really nice, and they put me in a hotel, they pay for the hotel, and they give me money every day. They pay me every day to sit, and they pay for meals and all that stuff, and they pay to have the truck fixed. I don't know how they can afford it and how that works, but I know they have insurance, but they do it. Even if they're losing money, they take care of the driver, so that's wonderful. I have been in a hotel for a week in Maine, in Ohio, in Kansas, in Nevada, different places. When my truck broke down, I had to get work done. And yeah, my company takes really good care of the vehicles and the trucks and the trailers, and it's up to us drivers too to watch out for stuff and do inspections. But trucks still break down, and that happens. So that's hard to deal with, and it delays everything. And I'm stuck in a hotel waiting, and I can't get home. That happens. Also, it's hard to be healthy. A lot of guys just eat in the truck stops or eat junk food, and I did that for years. I don't much anymore now. I'm doing much better, but it's hard to eat healthy out here and stay in shape. I've seen guys that are 2 to 3, 4, 500 pounds, and they barely get in and out of their trucks, and that's sad. But it's hard out here to eat healthy and to stay healthy. But you can do it. You just got to be disciplined and be creative. But yeah, that's some of the cons, the hard things of trucking. Now some of the pros, some of the good things about truck driving. I kind of already said in the intro part, it is a good career. There's a lot worse careers, a lot worse jobs. This is a great career for a lot of people. It's very important. I'm helping feed the country. Many times my backhauls are bringing food to food shelves in Minnesota. I'm always taking food out, and then other things too, but I'm helping feed the country, so that's a pro. That's a good thing. I get to work by myself. I get to see the country. Sometimes I've taken my kids all around the country. They're all grown up now, but when they were younger, I took them all around the country. We made memories and seen places and had laughs and all the ups and downs of trucking, and they were part of that. My wife has went with me. I also was able to take my dad years ago on a few trips. That was wonderful. My wife's been with a bunch of times. Now she's retired, so I'm hoping she can go with me at least once a month. So that'll be fun. And just seeing the country and making memories. Another thing that's kind of cool is when you're traveling, and it doesn't always work out, but sometimes you can stop and visit family and friends around the country. That works out sometimes too. When I have downtime, I can go for a hike. I've hiked all over the country, just short little hikes, day hikes. Pull the truck over in the mountains of Montana and walk up the Continental Divide Trail. I've been on the Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail. Sometimes at a rest area, I'll just go for a walk in the woods, go different places. When I have the chance, I like to go for a hike. And just seeing the country, I can drink coffee while I'm driving all day long. I can listen to the radio, I can listen to music, I can listen to programs. I listen to YouTube a lot. Now, I don't watch the videos. I'm a very careful driver, but I listen to YouTube videos. I learn, woodworking videos and outdoor videos and educational videos. I learn. I listen to sermons and messages and devotions, and a lot of that stuff you can't do when you're out working other jobs. I think of ideas. I'm an idea man. I'm always planning. I'm just weird. But I got a notepad on a clipboard here, and I'm jotting down things. I can't really watch it, so I'm just jotting down things, ideas, and then I try to decipher it later. And I always have lists of things to do, things I want to do at home, chores, things I want to do with my family. YouTube videos I want to make, woodworking ideas and plans and things about life. I'm a list guy. I'm always trying to make plans and make lists and things to do. And I have time to do that. I have a lot of time to think when I'm driving. A lot of times you can't do that in other jobs. I also have a lot of time to pray. I pray all the time. It's good to have certain times to pray and have prayer vigils or whatever, have certain groups of people to pray. But God's Word, my Bible says that we're to pray continually and that we're all supposed to pray. So I'm continually in prayer. I'm talking to God all the time. And having a job like this, I'm kind of more open to be able to pray all the time. Yeah, you can do it while you're working at other jobs and doing different things. But I have a lot of time to think and pray for my wife and kids and grandkids and family and friends and our church and other drivers on the road and praying for our community and our town and our state and our country and the world. And so I have a lot of time to pray. The nice thing too, like I said, I'm out for 7 to 10 days. Yeah, that's hard. But being home for a whole week or even just a few days is wonderful. I mean, those lumps of time, I just like that better than a couple hours every evening working a 9 to 5 job. I don't know if I could go back to doing a job like that because I'm so used to this and I like having the lumps of time. I just really enjoy that. I mean, I have, whether it's a few days or a week, I can get a lot of chores done. I can do woodworking. I have time with my wife and visit family and friends. And serve at my church, and yeah, with those lumps of time, I can get a lot of things done and do a lot of things. So I really like that. I think truck drivers save lives every day. I'm out here and I'm always praying for God to use me in different ways, whether it's just letting somebody in who doesn't know how to merge, or if I can stop and help somebody. And I've done that in little ways here and there. I also like to some kind of silly I like to do, but if I see somebody hiking or biking or walking on the side of the road, sometimes I'll stop and talk to them and give them water, maybe give them a little Jesus word or a carved spoon, or a little devotional, give them some food or a snack or whatever. But many times what I'll do is I'll make a little gift bag with a water bottle and some Spam singles, a snack bar, a little devotional or Bible. Like, it's really icy when you get into small towns here. The roads are getting better, but when you get into towns, especially when they're hilly like this, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like going down hills when it's ice and snow, because you can't use your brakes too much, but you can't use them too less either. Yeah. But anyway, sometimes, I'll get little gift bags and I'll put them on the side of the road. I've done that many times. So I see somebody biking or hiking or walking, and they're walking on the shoulder, the side of the road, and I'll pass them and I'll pull over about a mile down the road, and I'll put that little bag out on the shoulder with a note. And I'm like, just want to bless your day. I hope you're doing well, whatever your journey is. If you're just going from town to town, or if you're homeless, or you're hiking, or you're traveling, whatever your journey is, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I just pray that you have a great day, and I hope these little gifts help you. So I really enjoy doing that. Coming through the town right now of, what is this, Nicodemus National Historic Site. Huh, that's cool. I don't know what town I'm in. I don't know. Hayes is straight ahead, Osborne's to the left, and Hill City's to the right. I don't know what town this is, though. I don't know where I am. They pay me to drive, y'all, and yet I don't know where I am. I just don't know. A lot of times I don't know where I'm at. No, it's all good. But yeah, so I like to do that. I ask God to use me to help people on the road whenever I can. And I'm slipping on the ice. Oh, this is the town of Stockton, Kansas, on 183. Yeah, look at this road. It's just pure, packed down ice and snow. I'm slipping as I'm rolling here. Usually as soon as you get out of town, it gets better. There's a Dollar General. I need a couple things, but I don't really see a good place to pull over. Go wait. So yeah, that's the thing when you're on the road. Walmart and dollar stores are best friends, really, out here. That's why, you need supplies or food or whatever. Some places are good for parking and some aren't. So you kind of scope them out. You kind of know where you can park and where you can't. But yeah, a nice little town here. It's nice that the sun's out now. It's not melting anything. It's still cold, but it is starting to warm up. It's 5 above. So I hope you're enjoying this video. I know it's just kind of a rambling one, but talking about truck driving and showing you a little bit of the road and all the ups and downs. But yeah, I ask God every day to use me, and I don't feel like I am used by God much, but I just pray that He'll use me wherever, whether it's at home or on the road, and to honor Him and to shine Jesus and to make a difference in other people's lives. And being a truck driver, being on the road, there are lots of opportunities, and you just never know. I wish I could have been in like an EMT or a paramedic or fire rescue. I would have really enjoyed that. I've actually looked into that recently. I think I'm a little too old, kind of late in life to do that now, but I would have really liked that. Yeah, that's a hard job too, and ups and downs and that, but it would have been neat to help people in that way. But as truckers too. So I'm always asking God if there's a way I can help somebody, if I see an accident, if I can do something to help. But yeah, Solomon River, I'm coming over here. Hey, a little bit of open water there. I haven't seen open water for a while. Everything's frozen, lakes and rivers and everything. But spring is coming. It's just around the corner. We're at the end of February here, or getting close to the end. And I'll start warming up for everybody. But yeah, see, now the road's a little better. For some reason in the towns it's pretty icy and snowy. You'd think that they'd be able to clear the towns just as good, if not better than the roadways. But anyway, yeah, going through some hills here. I'm kind of in southwestern Kansas. You know, we're all different. Another good thing is, again, like I say, you get to work on your own. You work by yourself. And some people really like that, some people don't. I'm one that I don't. It's hard for me to work with people in factories and different things. I like helping people. I get along with people, but working with others, sometimes that's hard for me. And we all have different ways of working and values and stuff, and that's hard. I try to be a team player, but I'm not always the best at doing that. So working on my own is actually better for me, unless I would be helping people or teaching. So yeah, so that's another pro. You know, if you're someone who doesn't like to work with other people, you get to work on your own this way. And again, you're not cooped up in a building. A lot of people don't like that. And your office is your truck. And yeah, so my truck actually is a lot of things. My truck is my office, it's my workspace, it's my kitchen, it's my bathroom, it's my bedroom, it's my hobby room. You know, it's my, you know, all of those things rolled into one. But, and again, you know, I have a lot of stuff in here. I did a tour of my truck not too long ago, if you want to watch that. I have a bunk in the back. You know, I have a lot of stuff in my passenger seat. I move all that when I have my wife go with me. But right now I have my straw saw over there, and I have my little workbench in between the seats. I have all my trucking stuff and snacks over there. And so yeah, then I have a bunk, and I have cupboards, and I have a TV and a refrigerator and a microwave, and I have a top bunk I use for storage. But yeah, boy, it is a beautiful day the Lord's made, and it's starting to slowly warm up and dry up. But yeah, that's some of the pros and some of the good things about trucking. You know, I probably missed a lot of things, pros and cons, but it's a unique job and a unique career, lifestyle really, and it works for us. It's not perfect, but I talk to my wife through text, phone calls, and FaceTime multiple times throughout the day. We have a wonderful love, amazing marriage, and we both actually enjoy our alone time, and I think that strengthens our marriage. Actually, we cherish our time together. We love being together. So, but we keep in contact throughout the day. I talk to my pastor now and then. I talk to different friends now and then. I talk to my kids. I have a fun chat that a few of you watching know about. So I started doing a thing on Facebook Messenger where I do voice messages back and forth. But I started with my wife and the pastor, and now I do it with some friends, where I can't text when I drive, and I don't want to. That's illegal. It's not safe. But I can send voice messages because I just hit the button. My phone's mounted on the dash. I just hit the button, and I can send voice messages back and forth. And it's really cool. It's kind of the next best thing to be in there. And I have made friends through my YouTube channel, which is absolutely amazing. And I have a few friends that we started, I call it a fun chat. It's just a thing that we talk back and forth in a messenger group. And it's been a couple of years now, and we talk daily. You know, we just talk back and forth, and we're all working, or some of us are working, and some are retired. But we just talk back and forth throughout the day, just check in here and there, and it's wonderful. I call it a fun chat because, yes, sometimes we pray for each other, cry with each other, but we laugh with each other too, and I want it to be a fun thing to just not focus on all the hard things of life, but just talk about our hobbies, woodworking and outdoors and fun things. We get into conversations that are just hilarious and amazing. We talk about poop. We talk about cars and food and coffee and woodworking and outdoors and all kinds of stuff, and trucking and traveling and life and family and our faith, and it's wonderful. So that's a blessing. But yeah, I try to keep in communication with other people throughout the day. And I talked to my cousin, who's a truck driver too. My cousin Stacy, now he's a truck driver, and we talk at least once a week usually, and see where he's at in the country. I talked to him yesterday. He's in Michigan. So yeah, but and I try to just make the most of every day. I do my best as a truck driver. I try to do my best for my boss, for my family, for my wife, and for God, and just do my best as a truck driver. And then I cherish my time when I'm home. And again, there's lots of ups and downs. It's not for everybody, but maybe it's something, it's an option for you, right now. Maybe you need a change in a job or career or whatever. And you got to go through all the steps to become a truck driver. Go to trucking school and get your CDL, and then you got to train and learn and get in a good company, and then get used to all the different things. And but we got to do that with any life change or any job or anything. But it might be for you. So yeah, maybe give it a thought. Anyway, hopefully this wasn't too long of a video. By the time I'm done editing it, we'll see. Hopefully it's under an hour. And this is my 500 video. I was going to go for a hike, but I haven't had a time or warm enough temperatures to do that. So I haven't done that. But I thought I would do this because I can do it while I'm driving. Just make a video of, just talking about truck driving. And so I hope you enjoyed it. So I just want to thank everybody who watches my videos, whether you're a subscriber or a viewer, and maybe you've been watching me for years. I've been making videos on YouTube for 12 years now, and this is my second channel. I deleted the first channel, but this is my second channel. It's been a little over a year. I have 1,300 subscribers, and this is my 500th video. But I thank anybody who's ever watched. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps you smile and you're encouraged or inspired in some way. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel grow. Again, I don't make money. I just started making pennies on ads. That's it. But I just do it for fun. It's a hobby. But please give it the thumbs up. Please watch my older videos. I have 500 videos. Please comment. It's fun to talk back and forth with you. If you want a sticker, please, I think the best way probably is to email me your address, or you can personal message me your address. My email is christfollower1996@yahoo.com. Or you can personal message me, Martin Leon, on Facebook. Give me your address and I'll send you a couple of stickers. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. And like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. Anyway, I'm going to end this video for now. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Please let me know what you want to see more of. Okay. Again, I don't consider myself a content creator. I just share my life. I do videos because it's fun. It's a hobby, and I like to just share whatever I'm doing. That's why it's always different. I don't make a certain kind of content or niche for anybody. I just hope you enjoy everything I'm doing. I mean, the YouTubers I like to watch, I like everything they do, and I hope that's true for you with me. I just like to share my life, and again, I just hope you're blessed by my videos. So I've talked for a while now, so I'm gonna give it a break. End this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.